To be honest, I don't know. I think Boxer, they have their own agenda. They had their own agenda from way back, and they thought it would be better to do it in London. I think London makes more sense. I think it's easily accessible to, the celebs and everybody else. It's a great location. So I think it makes sense. And plus, I beat him here. I beat him in London before. Even though he's champion, he still has a loss on his record against me. So, you know, I think I'm fair. I'm a fair guy. I don't mind. I didn't mind really whether it was Bournemouth or I just wanted the opportunity. That's it.
I remember that first fight well. It's in fact one of the 4 fights I mentioned at the start where you've gone the distance but still achieved a knockdown that proved kind of crucial at the end on the cards as well. What do you remember about that fight, and how do you think you've both changed since?
That fight, to be honest, I remember I underestimated him. I underestimated him a lot. I didn't think he had that type of fight in him or that ruggedness, if you would. So I took it as a joke. I was laughing. I was talking to my coach, thinking this guy, he's not gonna go past a certain amount of rounds, but he gave me a fight. So that's what I remember, and it kind of taught me a lesson not to underestimate people. So all fighters. And yeah, he was game. He was real cute. And when I say he's cute, he's like tight with a boxing tight defense. I had to work on him, try to open him up, and I realized I had to do a lot more than I usually did, prior to that fight. And I took a lot of experience from that fight. Um, I felt like I had him hurt a few times in that fight. I could have knocked him out, but I was too eager. I think I was too eager. Didn't really have the experience. I was a novice. I think it was like 9 fights or something. I didn't really know what I was doing.
How do you think he's changed since? And were you surprised by his beating Lawrence Okoli for the title?
You know what? I think I'd done some interviews prior to that fight, and I felt like it was the stars were aligning. I said that a few times. I said the stars were aligning for CBS. It's like it's in his back garden. He's challenging for the title, but it's in Bournemouth. Um, Lawrence Okoli was too eager. He didn't have, the performance prior to that was so bad that we all knew that he needed time to develop that to be able to perform better in the next time. But he was so eager. He was calling me out. He's calling anybody out to fight just so he can, you know, change the public opinion of him. And I just felt that wasn't enough time to rectify those faults that he showed in that fight prior to that. It looked like it would have taken him, it should take him a good up to a year to rectify that. Maybe 6 months to a year. And yeah, he jumped straight into that. He didn't even look like he was training properly, to be honest. There was a lot of meat on him in the wrong places. So yeah, I felt like it was bound to happen. And when I saw the knockdowns and stuff like that, it just made sense. Sometimes you'll see fighters and you'll see the mistakes that they make, and it just takes that opponent to expose that, and that's what it is. Chris Billam-Smith exposed it in a way, but even then, it wasn't even anything of a spectacle on Chris Billam-Smith's behalf. It was like it wasn't a good look for us fighters, to be honest. That's how bad the fight was.
Do you feel though that Chris has improved since the fight with you? Obviously, a long time ago now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's improved. He's he's more intelligent. He's got more grit. He's tough. He's still tough. I've seen him get rocked a lot more, now, and still, find a way to find his way back into the fight. Yeah, he's won every single fight ever since. So yeah, I'll be delusional to say he hasn't improved.
What about you? In what ways do you feel you've got better over the last couple of years specifically?
I feel like more of my mentality, self-belief. I'm stronger now as well. I haven't taken like any damage. I'm fresh. That shows that I've been learning. I've been learning the craft like a proper student, and I'm still learning as time goes on. And from how I've been performing my fights, and also in the gym, how I've been looking. You know, all of the people that speak to me, they say you're the future. You know, and that's not for no reason. You know, and I guess I always say time will tell. Time will tell.
Have you had a chance to see the documentary on the McGuigan gym that recently came out? Stable, it's called, on BBC.
No, I haven't. I
Okay.
actually haven't. I was on BBC.
Yeah, it's on iPlayer. I don't know how much insight it will give you in terms of CBS's kind of prep and stuff, but it's a good watch either way.
Wow, I haven't seen it. And this is the first time of me hearing about this, but I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, you get all the kind of behind the scenes of the build up to the fight with Lawrence, and obviously Lawrence previously being in that gym and stuff. It's quite interesting.
Interesting. That's one thing I was gonna say as well. I think what really helped Chris Billam-Smith for that fight was that they actually trained with Lawrence Okoli in the gym and they sparred so much around. So they had the inside scoop. You know what I'm saying? What everything was in his favor. Everything. If he lost to that fight, that would have been embarrassing.
Shane McGuigan gets a lot of credit for the work he's done with Chris Billam-Smith. Although, similar to yourself, neither you or CBS were kind of fancied as these top prospects when you turned over. You didn't have the glittering amateur career, if you like, and you've both risen to the top regardless. How much of the credit for your success would you give to Angel and the team there?
I always believe that the fire makes the coach, you know, and Angel would also agree with that. If Fire was a coach and I got, let's just say, one Olympic gold medalist, and I added a few things, just taught him the basics, probably people would say, look, I'm the greatest coach, you know, and it happens a lot. I've seen it so much in boxing, but I feel like we complement each other. The fire makes the coach, but the coach will also improve and tweak you in a certain type of way. So it's like it's a great relationship. So, but yeah, I give Angel tons of credit. You know, I have to do the work, and he gives me the orders. You know, but you have to give intelligent orders. It's just like when we saw, you know, Pep Guardiola, for example. You know, when he goes into his games against his teams, he's the mastermind. You know, he's creating the counterattacks, the passing and moving that's going to lead to the goals. If we didn't have that kind of visionary, you know, there, then who knows? Maybe the talents would not be used in the appropriate places. You know what I'm saying? To get the result inevitably.
That's the trainer. What about the promoter? Because it seems like you've been a focal point for Boxer since they did the deal with Sky Sports. You've headlined events, you've stayed unbeaten, of course, and they've got you right in position for this world title shot. How happy have you been with the progress of that partnership?
Yeah, it's been good. It could have definitely been better, you know, with certain things, but at the same time, I guess they got into a position and they were also learning. They were learning the craft, you know, going and rivaling against like people like Matchroom and Queensberry. It's tough, man. These guys have been in the game since before I was even flipping born. You know what I mean? So they know the game inside out. And even though like Eddie Hearn may be young, but just remember he's getting tutelage from his dad. You know what I'm saying? They've been in the game and been making fights since day dot. So, you know, they're already ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, with them, they had to learn, they had to make mistakes, learn from the mistakes and stuff like that. But to be honest, they haven't done bad. They haven't done bad. They've done a good job with me. They've done a good job with you know, a lot of the other fighters as well. And now you can start to see, you know, more progress these days, even though there's been a lot of politics and stuff behind you. Obviously, I don't need to go into it, but you know, you're starting to see the results now, and
I'm gonna,
that's
well,